All right, welcome back. So yeah, it has read the PDF and just now it's saying, hey, I need some input. Can I, continue writing onto this markdown file? Perfect. It wrote down text into the markdown file, and now I have a markdown file here. If I go to the file panel, I have this research in a markdown file. Cool. So there's some things I can do, like I can. Now that I have something in a markdown file, it works a lot better with large language models when it wants to read information from it. So I converted the PDF into a markdown file, and I will be doing this now. I can tell it to generate flashcards. But what if, I don't want to type these prompts again, or what if I restarted my computer? It won't really remember my previously typed prompts. Maybe I have a certain way I want it to generate flashcards that's unique to how I like to study. So let me ask it, research the best for in terms of the format or any behind it, then generate a prompt I can provide to an LLM so that it is world class at generating highly effective flashcards. Okay, let's take a look. Let's see what's happening. What's happening? Cool, it's searching. It's gonna take a look. Cool, it's searched. It used the web search tool, Bloom's taxonomy, spaced repetition, how to make effective flashcards, 7 features of highly effective flashcards, evidence-based flashcard study strategies, all that good stuff. Okay, cool. Now I have comprehensive research on flashcard best practices. It's going to compile it into a world-class prompt for generating effective flashcards. Amazing. Cool. Flashcard generation prompt. So it's going to create a markdown file that has the best practices for creating highly effective flashcards so that when I use these flashcards, it's even more effective at getting into my brain and helping me nail down these 2026 resolutions. So while it's doing that, okay, cool. Yeah, accept all. Perfect. Cool. Sorry, I got a little bit impatient for a second. Cool. And right when I got impatient, it finished. Interesting. That usually does not work like that in my life. Usually when I get impatient, usually it takes even longer. That's usually how life works for me. But this is surprising. Oh, interesting thing. It's the first time. Okay, anyways. I'm going to stop trying to be funny and go ahead and take a look. Okay, flashcard generation prompt. Okay, based on this. Okay. Here are the key principles. Retrieval practice, active recalling. Okay. So this is like how to study flashcards. Never create cards from material you don't comprehend. Okay, I probably haven't comprehended the material from this agent drift research yet. Visual memory is far stronger than verbal. Awesome. Okay, cool. Interesting. Okay, so now generate a that is in terms of the format of the question and answer. I'm basically telling you to refine this prompt so that the prompt is more related to generating the card itself, not really about like how I should study, like effective study principles, spaced repetition. I could do that myself, right? But in terms of like how it's going to generate the question, like in which, is there a certain format that it's going to use for the question and answer? Is there a certain way it's going to word the question so that it's more effective? Is there a certain way that it's going to look at my notes and then know what to make flashcards out of, things like that. So I'm telling you to create a new prompt here. Cool, let's take a look. Flashcard workflow prompt. One fact per card. If you're testing 2 things, make 2 cards, right? Answer 1 to 5 word. Okay, so I like these. No list and answer. Split into separate cards or use close overlaps. Okay. No yes or no questions. All right, so these are best practices. Extract atomic facts. Generate card types for each fact. Consider which applies. What is X? Term. What is a term for this? Okay, cool. And then, basically some best practices. Cool. Add reverse cards where useful, if knowing both directions matters. Okay, so cool. Awesome. So some good ways and examples of good flashcards, basically. Awesome. Now what I can do is I can tell it here in Kiro, I can automate the process of generating flashcards so it follows this process every single time it generates flashcards. By going to agent hooks, and I click plus. I'll just show you an example of an agent hook just so that it creates an agent hook. I want what is the format for an agent hook in Kiro? I kind of forgot because I don't remember these things anymore. Use the Explorer agent hooks option or open the command palette, trigger. Okay, hook components. Okay, action, example. Okay. So let me just close out this terminal here. Okay, let's see. Event occurs. So when an event occurs, I can, such as when a file is deleted or when a prompt is sent, or maybe just manually when I press a button, you'll see a button here that you can press. I wanted to execute some action, basically in this case, it might be some prompt that it'll send to the large language model on what to do. So maybe when I press a button as an event, it will send this prompt on generating flashcards, things like that. Okay, cool. Create hook. Okay. I'm just going to show you some simple thing in action using Kiro hooks just so you can see how it works, and then we'll nail it down with the flashcard generation. Cool. So let's take a look. A manual trigger, it'll just say hello to the user. Okay, cool. So let's just test this out, okay? For example, now I have this thing called agent hooks. By the way, you can find it here. If you click on the File Explorer, in the .kiro folder /hooks, you'll actually see this. So just make sure it's this format. Enabled, true, right? Name description. When the type of event is, in this case, user triggered, then it will ask the agent with this prompt, right? Awesome. So I wanted to do something similar, but let's just see if that works. Let's see it in action. If I just press on this button, that's manual trigger. I manually press that button. It's not working. It's not working. So how do I debug? It's not doing anything. Look online for okay, maybe we can find some information online, because we're not gonna, dig through it ourselves. We're just gonna let the LLM do it and figure it out and fix it. But at the very least, I wanted to show you things not working, so I show you also how to solve these problems so that you can build self-sufficiency. Let me check the current hook file, okay? Yeah, I clicked on the trigger. Okay. I did that, though. I clicked on the play button and nothing happened. Or maybe do I need to restart Kiro just like when I had the MCP issue earlier? Check if you're in autopilot mode. Hooks require autopilot mode to be enabled. Okay, there you go. Try using the command palette. Okay, and then, okay, maybe the autopilot mode. Boom. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Oh, execute hook. Okay, something did happen, actually. Hello world. Say hello to the user and let them know this manual hook was triggered successfully. Keep it brief and friendly. I mean, I don't see. It's not opening a new. Well, if I click on history, though, I see it. Hello world one. Oh, I guess it was executing the hook, but it just was getting rid of. Interesting. Cool. It. Okay, this is what's the problem. This is what the problem is. It's completing so quickly that the session closes before you can see it happen in real time. Okay, so it's working as proper. Okay, cool. So it is working. Okay. Okay, so awesome. Use that same format to create an agent hook where I can manually trigger it to generate best practices, following the best practices in, I'm just going to copy the path in this doc, paste the path. I want it to generate for the I want to generate flashcards for the file that's open for whichever. Your wording really matters, by the way. That's called prompt engineering. That's open. Whatever files that's open. Okay, so I'm going to tell it to generate an agent hook, and it should. So it's going to look at my flashcard best practices, and it's going to create a Kiro hook for me called generate flashcards. Okay, let's see what that does. Let's just take a look at this one. So generate flashcards. If I click here, it says generate. Okay. Manual trigger. So when I just press play, basically, it'll generate high quality flashcards with these best practices. Now read the current active file and generate flashcards from its content. Okay, let's see if it works. Okay, so let's take a look at this agent drift research. So this is the active file, right? Because I have this open in my file panel right here. Cool. So what can I do? I can just literally I can press this and it opens up a new session for me. But it's actually like giving me the question answers here. Interesting. I don't want it to do that. I want it to actually use the Enki MCP to do that, right? So I need to kind of update this agent hook so that I tell it and use the Enki MCP. Yeah, I don't want the output to just show me the questions and answers. I just want, yeah, maybe my prompt is not very good, okay? So got to make the prompt better. These are my card rules. And this is really what I wanted to consider when generating flashcards. I don't want it to output the question and answer for me in the chat, right? So I deleted that part of the prompt. And then I'm going to just go ahead and say, all right, cool. Let's just go ahead and try that again. Let's have that file open, agent drift research. I just click generate flashcards. Now let's see what happens. Cool. So now it's using the Enki MCP because I told it in the agent hook that it needs to use the Enki MCP. Yeah, just trust. If this tool failed, it has something to do with syncing with something else, but don't worry about that for now. We don't need this tool actually. And then cool. It's going to go ahead and list the decks. Sync isn't configured. That's fine because we're doing locally generated cards. Sync is for if you wanted to also sync it up with your phone. And I can explain how to do that in a future video. We haven't set that up yet, so that's why. Cool. It's generating some flashcards. And it created it in certain best practices. So let's see. So now the good thing is whenever I put any document here, I can have it generate flashcards with the press of a button instead of having to type that prompt over and over again. That's agent hooks in action. I will be sharing the code for my setup here currently. I'll be sharing this whole thing with you so that you can also replicate what I'm doing. And I'll post it on GitHub so that you can play around with yourself. Wonderful. Let's see if my flashcards are here. Absolutely wonderful. Cool. Agent drift. Cool. Let's see. Let's take a look at these flashcards. Study. And guess what? What is agent drift? I have no. Is it when the agent kind of messes up and becomes less accurate? I don't know. Yeah, progressive here. Okay. Well, the problem is I actually haven't even read this research paper for me to be studying flashcards on it. So maybe I should be reading the research paper. Well, let's read this research paper and let's take a look at how agent hooks can help us when we're learning something as we're reading it as well beyond just flashcards. So, for example, this research paper, agent drift research. Okay, I'm just gonna close out this. For markdown files, you can right click on the tab of the markdown file and you can click open preview and it's much easier to read. All right. Cool. Detectable drift. I don't know what ASI is. What is ASI? I don't know. Okay. I don't know what a lot of these things are, right? Maybe I wanted to explain it to me like I'm a complete beginner. Okay. So maybe I can create an agent hook where instead of having to say this to me like I'm a beginner and then copy and paste this. Think of ASI, okay? agent stability index, like a health score. Oh, okay, that's what that means. Okay, cool, right? So that's how I can learn something. But I don't want to type explain this to me like I'm a beginner every single time. Maybe I can automate that as well. I can create an agent hook that I can, and it will explain. It will Okay, cool. So I'll tell it to create an agent hook, which it's gonna do now. Explain like I'm a beginner hook. Okay. Let's take a look. What does this say? Ask the user what concept or term would you like me to explain. Once they provide something, explain it in the simplest terms possible. Everyday use analogies, short sentences, concrete examples, friendly, encouraging tone. Okay, cool, perfect. Okay, so that's the agent hook. Okay, so now, like, let's say I'm reading this paper. I'm like, compounding effects, drift accelerates over time. Okay, maybe I understand that. Okay, maybe I understand what that means. Okay. What does that mean? Or drift routing? Like, what does this mean? Like, I'm reading it, I'm confused. So I'm gonna go here. I'm just gonna say, hey, turn on my beginner hat. I just press the play button, and it'll ask me what concept, and I paste it. I paste whatever concept I was very unable to understand, basically, and then it'll tell me. And as you can see, you really can refine these prompts here in a way that really works for you. Like, if you want like a diagram, you can do things like that. So speaking of diagrams, let's talk about the next topic, diagrams. That gives me some analogies. That's pretty cool. Anyways, next topic.